Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel here. It's the Mac, and welcome back to what should we call it? A new showcase of a new release from Wargame Design Studio. It's Panzer campaigns, man. Orel 43. So brand new, spanking new title here in the Panzer campaigns series. Very popular. Series of the Wargame Design Studio catalog there. So covered a lot of these games, and I want to shout out a big thank you to Wargame Design Studio for giving me a evaluation copy here to showcase on the channel and get you guys intrigued on this new beauty of a gem, man. Really nice game here, Orel 43. All right, so let's get into it. So. For you guys who are new to the channel, do check out some of my older videos covering a lot of these titles. You'll get more of a understanding of what I'm talking about. And for you who are returning, you will know what the hell I'm talking about. All right, so nothing new. Looks the same sort of interface. It's been quite the upgrade through the years, though. Now since Wargame Design Studio took over the development of these games from the late John Tiller. You've got new flashy toolbars, menu systems different, scenarios, descriptions are different. We're going to go into that as well and have a look at that. So, right, Orel 43, another 1943 East Front game. So, lots to talk about. This very interesting title here. As you have, guys who knows have been following me on the channel there, I have been covering the Kursk 43 offensive and Rumatsev 43. And this is called Orel 43. It's actually. Let's have a look at the Wikipedia here. I actually have a page here. Yeah. So it's Operation Kutuzov is what this title is all about, basically. And it was the northern part of the Kursk front, so to say. We all know about the Battle of the Kursk, that bulge. They wanted to cut it off and encircle the Russian forces in there. The mighty preparations for that. They took way too long to prepare for it, and the Russians just dug in and had some really badass defenses, and the Germans went for it anyways, and they got smashed, and they tried to get through all these defensive belts and sort of got exhausted, and all their sort of resources got spent, and the Russians just keep churning in more stuff. As we know, the Russian tactics is overwhelming manpower superiority and production, you know. Right, so this is actually the northern. So what the Russians wanted, actually Stalin wanted to get these offensive going before the Battle of Kursk, but he was persuaded by his commanders to delay it because they knew that the Germans are going to go for that attack, and we're going to get themselves bloody and depleted and destroyed. So when they had done that, then was the time to attack from the north and the south. So Rumatsev 43, that other title, is actually from the southern attack, and this Operation Kutuzov, or Orel as it is called, 43, so actually was a big city that the Russians captured from the Germans there, and so this is the northern sort of offensive, also called Operation Kutuzov. It was between the 12th of July to the 18th of August. Here's actually a good map to sort of explain it. So this was where the Germans attacked in the Kursk, the bulge there, to take it. This is the northern attack group. Didn't get that far. The southern one was more successful, and then the Russians launched this attack here. So that would be a bulge in itself here, and there's Orel. So they wanted the plan was to smash through here and cut off these German units and destroy them. But it didn't really go as planned. The Germans actually managed to do fight and retreat when they figured out that they were facing a massive assault. So you could say it was a tactical victory for the Russians, since they actually managed to capture this and stabilize the front. But they didn't actually destroy all the German units that they wanted to. They actually pulled back a lot. There was a lot of casualties here, man. It was actually this northern attack was the most bloody operation of these three: the Kursk, the Rumetsev, and the Skutsov here in the north. It's one of the most bloody ones. And it was, I mean, the forces the Russians could muster is just insane. And the casualties they took. I mean, they had massed 1,286,000 men, 2.4 thousand tanks, 26,400 guns, and about 3,000 aircraft. I mean, the Germans had fractions of that to actually fend off this battle here. It's insane. So what comes with the game? Let's go back into the game. So now you know some story about it. It's obviously there's a lot more to tell, but let's look at the almighty notes. They come with the game as usual. The design and campaign notes. They're not huge, but they're definitely adequate to sort of give you a good information of what went down here in this operation and what they have done, research, maps, and all that good stuff that we usually see in the notes. So here they basically talk about what I just said. So here's a map as well. This one's kind of hard to see. That's why I prefer the other one's more crisp. But here's Orel. That's where the Germans attacked. That's where they came from the south. So we have Kharkov here. So yeah, that's Orel. And then you have Bryansk over there. What else do they... So they go up, they talk about... Okay, here's even more. Wow, this one's pretty clutter, but you could Google. You could find some really crisp maps on the internet, or books if you got them about the operation. But it's cool that they included these maps as well. So here they talk about what I just said, the Kursk and what links these together. Because now they have completed that whole operational phase on the East Front with the Kursk 43 and this great title here and this new one now, Orel 43. So it sort of ties them all together, that huge operation that went down there. I mean, it's massive. I mean, sometimes it's hard to grasp it, man. The East Front is so huge, man. So many units involved, so many army formations and stuff. It was a major battle of the Second World War. It's insane, man. But sort of tied together very nicely now. So you could sort of really get the flow of these battles and sort of play it out historically if you want, during the time frame it lasted. So here's a picture of the map they've been working with of the operation area. It's pretty big. Excuse me. Yeah. So here's some books they got inspiration from and research. It's all here if you want to. This is good. I like this. If you want to deep dive into it and read more about it, these are some good books to pick up and read. So there's quite a lot of that. And then they have about the scenario designs and planning and stuff. Good section of that. Commanders and what they were up against. And now they actually go into the... So yeah, as you remember... If you remember, when I covered the Rumetsev 43, they actually have included the southern attack of the German forces into the Kursk offensive there. And so they have actually included the northern attack in this title. You do get that in this game as well. So you have the first couple scenarios are actually covering the citadel, the northern flank. So you could play the whole thing there if you want. It's pretty cool. So let's quickly have a look at all the scenarios. I think there's like 58 scenarios that comes with the game. So it's quite a lot. And some of them are huge. Of course, they always have those. Yeah, this one here. 417 turns, man. They always include that. I like it. It's pretty cool. What's new is that it's actually intended to play as either side versus the AI. So they actually have done some programming in these huge ones to play versus the AI, which is pretty damn cool if you want to, duke that out. or head to head, which is probably what it's preferred when it's such a huge scenario like this. I mean, the computer will muck it up. I mean, it will do mistakes. So, but I guess because everything now is actually programmed to play versus the AI, which I find very really cool. I mean, every single of these, they have the example of the northern flank of the citadel here. They're all programmed for the AI. So this one here is you're supposed to play the Russians versus the AI. Here you play the Axis, and this I'm not sure. What's the story here? It says northern flank German player something there. Here we go. Limited victory points. Okay, that's interesting. It simulates the German offensive of the northern front, Kirk, salient during Operation Citadel. It includes. It is included because of subsequent Soviet counterattacks in the Orel, and it's a chapter following the attack. Okay, so yeah, this is mostly just an explanation there, but it's cool. I like that. And then of course they have the massive operation of a Kutuzov there, and then it sort of breaks down here. Then they have all these scenarios are about that particular operation broken down into sort of smaller fights to do. So they start off with the 11th Guard Army that advanced, and they're trying to break through these. The Germans actually had some defensive lines. They didn't throw every single unit into they did throw a lot, though, and all of their best stuff into the Kursk offensive there. But they did keep some reserves. And that was probably pretty smart that they did, because they sort of helped out a lot in stalling this massive Russian offensive. They really, if it didn't have those armored reserves, I mean, it would have ended, it probably would have been really, really bad for the Germans. But they did have it. And of course, you never to forget about this operation is that the Luftwaffe and the Russian Air Force actually played a huge part in this battle. The German Air Force was still somewhat okay at this stage. I mean, they were on a losing streak. They couldn't replace all their planes and pilots and stuff. But and the Russians they were just building and building and building, like they always do. I mean, they just mass and mass and mass stuff, and so it was a big air war. And I read somewhere that it was actually, I mean, the Russian ground forces actually had a lot to thank the Russian Air Force for their achievements, that they actually managed to advance. Because if they didn't have the Air Force that helped them that much, the Germans probably would have been able to stop the Russians. I mean, they had really had some really crappy troops, but they have a lot of them, and of course, they did have some, like the guards are good, but I mean, they just had the bodies, man, and they just threw them in there. They don't care about losses and stuff. And the Germans, I mean, there was a lot of Russian armor destroyed in this offensive. Huge amounts of destruction. But they had the numbers, man. They could just pump them in. And I guess the Germans just couldn't replace their losses that fast. And, so it doesn't matter if you have 1,000 bullets. If there's 2,000 attacking you, you're going to run out of bullets, so... so they go through here. I mean, all these are divided up. There's just a lot of them here to take up all the different attacks of the 50th Army, the 61st Army. They have the bulk of Operation North Salient. See, I like this. They're all sort of programmed versus the AI, which is pretty cool. Some of them are just, and head-to-head, but some of them are just, not really meant to be played head-to-head. They're just meant to be played versus the AI there. But there's a lot of head-to-head stuff here, so good for PBMs and stuff. But as you can see, there's a lot of... here you have the Grossdeutschland arrived, and then they sort of did a counterattack there. Here's the fight for the city of Orel, 12th Panzer Division defense. Kutuzov's second phase, so this is divided up into the second phase there. There's actually a lot of material in this game, which really is nice. Let's have a look. So yeah, the designer notes. We're looking through those. So they sort of explain here. They have the 417 turn. Yeah, the entire campaign. So it's all there. Here's a good map as well. The Orel, the first phase, the Orel offensive there. So now that was the attack for the city there. Battle of the City. They don't actually take up all the scenarios here. I don't think so. They also have a good thing about the optional rules. They're sort of clarifying that more now. There's been so much confusion around that, what to use and stuff. In the past campaigns, it's quite easy because there's a default system that they play test all the scenarios with, and it's sort of that's how these rules here is how they've actually play tested the game, and what they found would work the best. So, but it's of course it's all optional here. You can choose stuff that you want to try out, but this is what they recommend you to use if you want to get the same experience they had during playtesting. I like that. Recently, I've played some in the actually Civil War battles, the American Civil War titles they got, and they don't have a default button on the rules there, and that could be troublesome sometimes when you try to play a battle versus a human opponent and stuff, and you want to agree upon rules. Or you want to agree upon, because many rules are very game changing, and if someone learns the mechanics around a certain rule that they could use as an advantage over their opponents and finds like a loophole, it can get very one sided in the battles, because you probably lose your battle before you realize what the enemy actually use one of these rules for their advantage, so to speak. It's not cheating, because the rules are there, and it's, but it's hard to agree upon it, I guess. This is what I like here, is all defaults, and you can then later on agree upon if you want to try another rule out and stuff. So really good. They have a big section about the order of battle for you guys who want to dive into that. That could be fun sometimes. I find that quite interesting to actually have a look at some of that. This is actually good material to use if you want to do smaller scenarios and stuff as well. What's this? The Soviet order of battle. Okay, yeah, so it goes on about that. I just love the pictures they put in here. So cool. And they probably will have a section about the German order of battle, yeah. So they didn't have a lot to stand against that Russian onslaught, but quality was better, but just too many enemies there. Too big of an attack to hold back. So there's more stuff here. Very interesting. Map notes. They actually have a very accurate map for this title. I read through this text here, and they really went down hard on the research to get the map really accurate. So that's all we got for the optional. For the notes. It's 32 pages, but it's good. Sometimes it's good that it's not 100 pages long, because many people just get tired of reading the whole thing. But this one's, this one you could read in an hour or two, maybe, and do some research. Give you a really good overview what the hell you're supposed to be doing. What else? There's nothing really. I think they have revised the summary info. It's sort of, is that what it's called? It's actually called main program help. Yeah, that's what it's called. But it's really good now that they have these, it's very crisp, you can have a good read, quick dive into this. If there's anything that you're unfamiliar with, it's good. They have the terrain charts, the cost of moving. So they have all that now here for easy, quick access, and this is also very good for the improved positions and the fortifications. You can quickly look into this to get an idea, and they also have a quick run through of all the menu icons, what they mean. So very handy document. The getting started scenario, I haven't actually played it. and I just sort of looked at it. But it's, I guess, getting started is about the. I think this one is depicting. Where was it? Yeah, this is instructional getting started scenario, and it covers the fight on the approaches to the eastern part of the city of Orel. So, I haven't tried it, but these are always very well written. For you guys who are new to this game, you just sort of found this video and wondering what kind of game I'm talking about. If you get the game, definitely always play the getting started scenario. If you're sort of brand new to the franchise and don't know how the mechanics work, these are very, very good. They give you the rundown of many of the stuff that you actually just need to play the game, and then of course you can dive into the manual for all the details, But this is, if you play the getting started, you know how to play the game. Basically, you will have knowledge of how to move units and attack and fight and assault, plan, put your barrages down, plan airstrikes and stuff like that. So really, really good, man. Getting started is always nice, and of course they have the user manual. It's been revised. This is the 403 version now of the Panzer campaigns, but I don't think they revised the manual for this particular release. It's the same one that came with the 402 or 403, I think. But it's really well. I mean, this manual is just so badass now, man. It's really good. It's all here, man. And you could just click here. If you find what you're looking for, like, okay, you wonder, what the hell, how does deception units work? Boom, right, it's all here. Just read about the deception units. Really good. I don't know why I don't get a table of contents here, but you can click this thing here. It's really good. You want to know what partisans units used? Boom, it's all here. So, partisans, yeah, a little mention about those. They played a huge part in this operation as well. I think the Russians had like 100,000 partisans working behind the German lines at the time of this operation, and they did also had a huge impact on the German defense there of this massive assault. Sabotaging transport routes, taking over like railways, disruption, attacks and convoys, just general panic and chaos in the rear areas. So the Germans had to divert a lot of forces to deal with these units that could have actually been used in the front and fight. So they played a huge part on the Eastern Front, and even more so as the war progressed. So yeah, almighty manual there, man. Good stuff. So I'm not going to dive more in. Definitely going to do a let's play of this. I just don't know. There's so many good shit to play here, man. And I love it that everything is AI scripted. I might actually do like a longer let's play for a change. I usually choose like a pretty short scenario, but maybe I will do something a bit longer where I can go over like more things, strategies, tactics, and like game mechanics and stuff. So I don't know yet, man. If you guys have a request, please write in the comments, and I do take that in serious consideration. Be fun to try. So much good stuff here, man. I just want to play them all. But I'll choose something for this. Let's fire up the massive one. Just to give you guys a. Let's put it on manual both there. Boom. It's huge. You get a really good... so the Russians actually kick off, since they're on the offensive. It starts 4 o'clock in the morning, man. 12th of July, 1943. They one of 417 turns, man. Yeah. So, command report. No strategic decisions in this. At least I don't think so. Sometimes there are. Where is it? Command? There might not be any in this. It would say at the startup. Yeah, whatever. All right, Orel, here we go. Right, zoom out. Let's actually bring this up. Yeah, so here we go. Here's the map. As you can see, yeah. So let's go down here. So this would have been the attack on Kursk, how far they actually got there. This is actually the 12th, so yes, Poniri, yeah. Might have been starting to be pushed back and retreated a bit before the offensives kicked off. But I guess as a German commander, you want to get these units out of that pocket fast. Right, so it's pretty lightly defended, as you can see here. So here's the massed attack of the. Wow, look at the size of this thing, man. It's huge. Yeah, wow. Okay. Let's bring this up again. There's Orel. Yeah, I was trying to look for Orel there. Yeah, so this force here was going to smash through here, I would imagine. Some forces assembled there as well. Stuff coming in. This is for the northern attack. They wanted to pinch off that bulge. So this would be where the most forces would be concentrated to smash through here. So the Germans did have some units up there. This is some reserves. Bryansk. Wow. Yeah, you can go through 3D zoom here. Wow. It's pretty massive, man. What would be the parameter data on this? Would be interesting to have a look. So you have 2-hour turns, 4-hour night turn. 4 hours, okay. Yes. Stacking is 350 on the road. And it's actually big stacking there, 1,500 men per hex. So that's quite a lot. Get miscellaneous there. Get bridge values. Air limitations. Wow. So what? Just for shits and giggles, let's see what kind of yeah. Lots of air wings available here. Reconnaissance for the Russians to start off with. So look at the map again here. Yeah. So as you can see, it's pretty big. This would take some time to play through, man. There's a lot of fighting going on here. So where would the 11th Guards be? I wonder if they were the ones... Maybe they were up here? It'd be hard to find if you don't know where they are. It's be interesting to see. 97th. Here's a lot of guards. Probably be here somewhere. '16th Guards, all right. What else? 31st, 8th, 83rd, 18th, 5th Guards, all right. 1st Guard, okay. They lost a lot of guards. You know, I think the search function works. Okay, now I can't find anything for some reason. Okay. Where the heck is it? Where's that find unit thing? We got location. Here we go. Jeez. All right. let's see if I just search for 11th. Here we go. 11th Guard Army. Where's that? There it is. Oh shit! It's the whole thing there. Okay. Yeah, look at that. Okay, yeah. So that is where's the main headquarters of this thing? Wow, look at all these units, man. 16th. All right. There it is. Wow. Bagramayang. Man, look at that force. Jeez. Not much defense here, man. Like 300 men, a couple of tank guns, 150 guys. Okay, that is a bunker. They did erect some defenses here, but it wasn't complete. So there's only a few bunkers, yeah. Most of it is trenches. So it's going to be tough, man, to fend off that massive attack. Still fun, though. I mean, yeah, I think you need to be pretty skilled as the German commander to pull this off, to fend off this massive attack. I mean, I guess it's possible, but it would really take a lot of thinking and and maybe a clumsy Russian commander. I don't know. Yeah, so I think this covers most of it. I'm going to be going more into it when I actually start off a Let's Play. This is just going to be, as I usually do, an introductory video. But wow, this game is interesting, man. So all these three titles are very interesting. We're linked together. They have the Kursk, the Room at 7, the Orel. I really like that they have, linked those titles together to focus on all these massive operations. On that particular summer of 43 there. It's just amazing to be able to play them out and with the amount of research they got here and all the units and everything, it's just amazing. I don't think any other game covers it as in great detail as these games do. I mean, it's just really, really fun and cool that they got this going. So I think I'm going to end the video here, man, and do type comments and stuff, like and subscribe. And the next part is actually going to be me picking a scenario there to play. And if you guys have any ideas, please do write that in comments if you want to see a particular scenario. I could play a longer one. I could do that. And if it gets tedious, I could summarize a couple of turns. So you don't have to watch every single turn being played out. But one thing's for sure, I'm not doing this. That would be a whole year dedication to that. Yeah, so I haven't posted a video as well for a while. I usually have that as a running excuse now for every video that I post, that I'm going to be posting more. But actually, man, work is tough, man. I got a lot of shit going. But I do post as soon as I had the chance and do videos. But I'm hoping to be able to pick up the pace a bit and do some more. But do write me comments and stuff and message me about what you want to see more on the channel, and I will do my best to get that up and running. So thanks for watching, and I will see you guys in the next part. So have a good one and see you later.